Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Boy That Loved, a Boys Love podcast hosted by me, Dion. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you to everyone who subscribed recently. I greatly appreciate it, especially to the ones who subscribe to the Patreon page. Y'all real for that. It helps support the channel. So if you want to help support the channel, get some extra content, please become a patron today. It's linked below. Come on over. I would love to have you. Please and thank you. So today's video, today's video, we'll be discussing. Okay, how should I word this? We will be discussing reasons why someone would want to check out a boys' love series, right? Because here's the thing, I feel like obviously people who watch boys' love series or have a reason to watch boys' love series, it's more shallow. It's a shallow reason. You think the boys are conventionally attractive. You just like seeing the two actors together, and maybe you ship the actors together outside the show in some capacity, friendship wise or romantic. I'm not sure what your tea is, but there's a lot of factors that go in. There's different factors that go in for you wanting to check out a show, right? Base thing is it's a boys love. You like watching boys love series. You like seeing these type of like pseudo queer romances happen, and that's the base thing. But then like maybe like I said, you get the actors really or the premise, the genre of it all really gets you into the like spirit to watch. Okay, so I bring that up because relatively recently, someone I know they tweeted out about how in Dead Forever there's a bust down scene with that's been not leaked but like was posted online after it happened. I believe it's episode 9. There's a bust down scene between two of the characters, and apparently people are wanting to watch Dead Friend Forever because of that one scene. And they were kind of put off by the sudden interest in the show. Right? Oh, now you want to watch Dead Friend Forever? Oh, now it's something you want to see? Now, I personally don't know how well a show is doing, how much interest is happening into a show. Like I personally don't know. On my Twitter feed, there's not a lot of boys love material for me to gauge. Like I don't engage in the discussions of these shows a lot on this, like Twitter and stuff. It's just not my lane to do so. And I do have YouTube peers who react to these series, and I do see tweets, retweets, or them commenting things or just saying things outright. And I do have a Discord where that scared the crap out of me. It was my phone. It was Siri. Oh my god, that scared me. Um, I do have a Discord where we discuss things. I learn about what other people are saying, the fandoms are saying about certain characters and TV shows through that. But it's not something I keep on top of. I don't know. So me personally, I'm thinking everyone's watching Dead Friend Forever. I'm assuming it's a popular show. There's a big cast of actors, some new, some returning from like Ken Porsh and whatnot. So it has the recipe. Plus it's in a like horror thriller genre. So that's already a different space to occupy. So I'm assuming I would assume people are just watching it, right? I'm not even thinking about maybe people are pushing back against watching it. Maybe someone's like, "Oh, it's not for me." I'm not seeing that. And I'm not sure if it is being seen how much of the fandom is against watching, Death for Forever when it dropped. So I don't know. But anyways, it's implied that maybe people had pushed back against the show for whatever reason. But now they see that scene, that slap from Old Boy getting his back blown out. Now they want to watch it. And I want to ask you guys, is it because to me it doesn't make full sense to be so put off by fans' shallow reasoning for wanting to watch a show, especially because oftentimes you see on Twitter people are like, "What show is this?" And it's a scene of these two boys kissing, or an actor from the show is posted, and they're attractive. or you see a clip from these actors fan meet or whatever, and you're like, oh, who are these people? I don't know what this is. What's going on? Did I miss it? Yada yada yada. It happens all the time. So obviously people tell them and they obviously go watch it, right? Now I'm like, I get maybe someone dismissing watching a show because they're like, maybe it's not for them for whatever reason, but then now all of a sudden they want to watch it. I guess it's kind of like, but I heard you were earlier, but at the same time, whatever gets them to watch it gets them to watch it, right? I mean, you see nowadays in trailers to the Boys Love series, they have the kissing in it. They have the bust down scenes in it. They want you to watch the show. They're selling you, even though they're going to watch regardless in some ways, it does add to it when you have more sensational content shown on the forefront, right? If you have bust down scenes, they're going to show clips of it to get you hype up to watch it. They know the fans are shallow. They know the fans are shallow, and it works every time. I just think it's weird. Not, I'll say weird, but it's strange. Not strange. It's the same thing. It's interesting to kind of have what's the word? It's strange. It's interesting to kind of feel like no one's really showing the respect to a series before, or they see some type of, you know, scandalous clip. Like you should want to watch it because of the story and the characters. You should, yeah. And like, sure, I guess. I don't know if Boys Love offers all that in any ways. So like, I don't know what, because you see one show, you've seen them all. At the end of the day, it's your favorite ships in it. The boys are attractive. They're busting down and kissing. How much is it going to be in there? Is it a popular novel? Like, whatever reasoning people have watching, they're going to watch it for a reason. I don't think you should like shame or police their reasoning. But I also think it's kind of weird to like deny why you watch a show, why you like a show. Like some of these shows, I'm like, it's not that good, and I would appreciate you telling me I like how these actors look. I like to see them kiss. I'm like, you are so real for that. Because sometimes it gets kind of hard. People like to make a show seem like it's greater than it is, and I've dealt with this dealing with my reactor peers and people in my Discord and going live and see people in the comment section try to make a show seem more profound or thought provoking or just a great series overall. And I'm over here like, you have to just be into these actors, or you just have to just like these boys kissing. I'm not seeing how great this is, because one, we've seen a show like this 14 times before, so it's not like it's unique. Two, I'm watching the same show, and this happened recently with like the twins and Kiseki. I'm watching the same show that other people are watching. I'm like, the pacing is terrible. No character development. There's a bunch of time wasted. I'm not seeing what's so great about this show. And then them telling me, oh, they just like the actors together. The chemistry is great, you know. And out of context, it's a very good thing to look at. And I'm like, I'd rather that be the reason you say it's good and you say it on the forefront. But people they hate being shallow or being perceived as shallow, which I don't understand that. Obviously, if you like a show, you want people to see it. If that's their reason to see it, a bust down scene being posted on Twitter, and now they want to watch it, maybe after they see it, after they go to see it now because of that clip, they'll appreciate it for the things you appreciate it for. Which I guess was the point of my friend's tweet. They were like, "Oh, like it's a horror show and it has like complex narrative and like complex characters and like scandals and like it's not a standard boys love series. It's more than this bust down scene." Which sure, but now they'll give it a chance now. You know what I mean? I get it being like, ew, y'all really out here just liking it because someone slapped someone's cheeks. I mean, they got recoil. I was just playing. You know what? I am actually factually diabolical. My bad, y'all. But you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's kind of weird for me sometimes because like when it comes to that kind of stuff, it can be almost like there's a hypocrisy happening when it comes to like the Boys Love fans. Some act very morally superior to others, but they're doing the exact same thing. Like we like to like make fun of the delusional fan, the fan that goes too far, who thinks their ships are real, and yada yada yada, who only like the kissing scenes or like the bust down scenes or something that makes them want to watch a show, when the fandom as a whole does the same thing. Yes, you may not be seeing yourself as like a bat crazy fan who believes in their ships, but a lot of times people who say that are still shipping the actors together. They love the actors dynamic outside the show. And they may be just loving their friendship, but it's like you're shipping them together regardless. And sometimes, like I've noticed recently with like Max and Tool, Tool and Mew, everyone is having like this whole like epiphany thing where they're like their friendship is so profound and so amazing and everything. Like you don't know these people. You don't know these people. Yes, you know what they tell you, and it is precious the interviews they're doing. It is precious seeing them together. I'm not saying it's not. That's not what I'm saying. I just thinking holding so much weight and stock into their relationships is no different than the fans who are going the extra mile. There is a difference. I understand there is a difference, but you occupy the same space. Someone looking outside looking in couldn't tell you apart. If they see your tweets and someone else's tweets, they're so similar. You lusting after the actors, you're praising stuff about these people that you don't know, like these people you don't know. It happens all the time, and maybe you're not going too far as to give death threats or hold so much weight for the actors, but at the same time, it happens so often in a different way. It's hard to tell the difference. Does that make sense? Like it's hard to like even tell you apart. And like I'm seeing like tweets about like people wanting to watch a show because of the bust down scenes, but then also they themselves love a bust down scene. They themselves are tweeting about bust down scenes. So which is it? You're birds of a feather, right? Am I tripping? Because it feels like this birds of a feather kind of thing, but sometimes it feels like it's hard to you don't want to be associated with certain fandoms, which I get. I occupy that space too. Like I'm upset. Not upset. I feel weird at times being associated with boys love fans. I am a fan of the boys love genre, these shows. I do watch them. I'm going to have to take that L. I'm guilty by association. I do hate it though. Seeing people lust after these actors and F Mary Kill games and tweet certain things to them or say certain things and act a certain way. I also cringe. I also get upset. And I know I'm also associated with it. And that's the reason why I don't like it. But at the same time, I'm like, well, that's what's going to happen. I'd argue no one can tell the difference between me and another fan, another reactor. I mean, if you're watching reactors, you know I'm. I think now the line is kind of blurred now, but back in the day, I was the outlier with my peers more so than now. I think nowadays it's the cool thing to be more cynical towards these shows or act like things are issues. Let me stop. That's kind of shady. But what I mean is, back in the day, having me not shipping the characters together and not screaming and shouting over a simple hand touch or a kiss was very interesting. And nowadays, I always been like critical of the shows, but nowadays people are more critical at times. They're having more nuance or acting as they are. Because I've noticed a lot of people are very, what's the word? They act critical. They act like they only love highbrow, profound boys love series, but like the shows that go up for are not that at all. So I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why did you say that? Does it sound better? I feel like lots of people want to be more discerning with their boys love series. They don't want to be just a rabid fan that's kind of loving everything. They want to have like this show is better than this show for this reason, and this show is better than that show for that reason. And I think that's good to have different feelings, different shows, and have a hierarchy of shows rather than everything's good because of boys love. But it's hard to do that when at the same time, most times everything is good just because it's a boys love. It's enemies to lovers, so it's good. It's these attractive actors, so it's good. That happens all the time, and it still does, even if you take yourself back and say, well, I want a show that's better than this. I want a show that's good. I need a show to do this for me. I'm like, people in this comment section, y'all are not. Come on now. why are you equating the eighth sense to like cutie pie? Like there's a clear difference, but you like both equally, and it's for the same thing. And I'm not saying you can't like both, but acting like you only love more elevated, profound shows like Eighth Sense over shows like Cutie Pie, but those shows like Cutie Pie and other shows in that same realm you are going ham for. It doesn't make sense to me. It just seems like everything's contradictory. And I think sometimes it's hard to like see someone actually actively contradict certain things. It's like you see the hypocrisy because it's the digital footprint. You see them tweeting, you see the comments made, and like the same energy isn't kept all the time. You'll be like, oh, fans delusional, crazy, but also you're you run a stand account for a pair, a couple. Wait a minute, when aren't you doing the same thing as the fan you just dragged? I don't understand that. Maybe it's not for me to understand. I mean, I'm fully aware that maybe I still don't comprehend it fully. And I know I'm like I said, I'm an outlier. I don't like ship the actors together, and I don't like I wouldn't go to a fan meet. I'm not. I do like these actors, but I don't want to do their personal stuff. I don't want to. Sure, I would like to meet them, but like I don't put them on a high pedestal, so it's hard for me to understand everyone's point of view. But I just don't get acting that way. They're so great, or you're shipping the actors, and their friendship is so meaningful to you, but also being like, let's drag these other fans for doing what you're doing. Yeah, I understand. Some cases, some fans can be more extreme, but I'm not seeing the difference. Their base level, and your base level are the same thing. Yeah, and it's easier to be like, well, I'm not like other girls, and that's one of those things. Kind of like, okay, it almost it almost feels like you can absolve yourself from accountability for acting up in a toxic fandom by saying you're not like because you don't do this, that, and the third, or you wouldn't do this, you wouldn't do that, or you condemn this behavior. And I think it's good to condemn certain behavior. I mean, sometimes you have to because you're guilty by association. You need to let people know that you're not, dragging an actor for having a girlfriend. But at the same time, you are shipping him with his coworker. And sure, I like their friendship, sure, but you're still shipping them. I mean, you have ghost ships. Like it's not even ghost ships as in the characters of ghost ships. You're ghost shipping the actors. Every time that someone talks about the actors being shipped together, it's not the characters, it's the actors. You're ghost shipping all these actors, all these pairs, or a certain pair you just hold on dear, like for dear life. Like you love Earth Mix. You know what I mean? Like it's not, and it's okay to like these actors and their pairs, but like I don't think it's weird to be so ingrained in the boys love fandom discourse, but also act above it, act like the moral high ground. Then again, I like I said, I think I occupy that space too. I think I'm not saying the moral high ground, but I just cannot relate to my peers and other fans when it comes to boys love because I don't partake in those same activities. So I think in some ways I'm also acting as if I'm on the moral high ground when it comes to those things. But that tells you I know what I'm talking about. But I'm also not going against how I feel though. That's the thing. I'm not saying ew, you guys are like shipping the actors and then also shipping the actors. There's a difference. I'm not, you know, I'm not doing all that. I can't physically do it. I can't. Don't get me wrong. I like seeing I like seeing all the actors in a group of them, like GMTV actors. It's so nice to see them like kiki hang out. But I'm like, oh, that's so nice, and keep it moving. I'm not like, oh, their friendship is so profound. Like, oh my god, look what they did here on this live, and they're doing this. Like, I'm not. I can't bring myself to do all that, but like it happens a lot, and like, you know. But yeah, let me know your thoughts below on this. This wasn't meant to be shady. I guess it's kind of shady. I'm not talking about someone in particular, but I guess I am. If the shoe fits, the shoe fits. That's all I'm saying. And I might get some pushback on this. Anyways, let me know your thoughts below on this, and I will see y'all in the next video.